G'day guys, this is Next with a Medieval 2 Stainless Steel 6.4 Let's Play. Now, if you were following me, you know that I did have a couple of other Let's Plays going. I had a Rome 1 modified game going and Crusader Kings 2. Unfortunately, I did have some problems. My hard drive corrupted and I lost everything on it, which included the save files, unfortunately. So I can't continue those, which is kind of the reason why my channel has been active. But, you know, I'm going to start up again. I got a new computer. And I thought, you know, why not let's play some Medieval 2. It's probably one of my favorite in the series, right next to Napoleon, which you may see if I can fix out some problems with it. It seems to be having some problems with Windows 8, but I'm not quite sure if it's just a corrupt install. So I'll play around with that. I might get a Napoleon campaign going, you never know. So we're going to be playing Stainless Steel, which is probably the best modification, in my opinion, for Medieval 2 right next to Third Age. If you're into Lord of the Rings, of course, you probably will prefer that. And I love that mod as well. It's great. It does fantastic work by the modders. So I've decided that we're probably going to give a shot at Denmark. Now, I haven't actually played Medieval 2 in a while. I started it up a couple of days ago, just messed around, had some fun with it, and I decided that I'd make a Let's Play on it. So I haven't actually played many of the factions from Stainless Steel, and in fact, I don't think I've ever played Scandinavia in any of my Medieval 2 campaigns. So I've never played Denmark, of course, so I'm gonna give that a shot, try and take over Scandinavia. I think it'll be fun. We'll play on hard and long campaign rules, and I've turned off show CPU moves because the stainless steel turn times tend to be really long, and I think this is just going to make it worse. So I'm going to leave that turned off for now, but if it is a problem and I'm missing things, I will turn that back on. As the battle time limit, I haven't quite decided. The problem is, if there's a glitch and I can't get to a unit, or an enemy won't get to me or something, it means I have to quit the battle instead of just letting the time run through. So I'm going to put that on, actually, just, you know, might as well. And so I think we can start it. This is the early campaign. This is 1100. You can choose for stainless steel between the late and early. I think the late's 1220 or something. So we're going to kick this off and hopefully we have some fun. Now, just like a forewarning, I'm not the best Total War player. I've been playing since Rome 1, but even you'd think that I'd be pretty good by now. I'm really not that great, so if you do see some problems, you know, I just like to have some fun, and don't ever claim to be the best Total War player. But, you know, like I said, just like in it for some fun. So this is just the introduction from the Stainless Steel team, so we won't bother with that. Of course, great work by the modders though. So here we are. We start with 3 cities, or 3 towns. We have Aarhus, Roskilde, and Lund, and I'm probably pronouncing them all wrong. And of course, we do have over here, we have an independent wooden castle, which is just these rebel cities over here. So this is nice. It means that we got quite a few opportunities for expansion. And up here, we've also got Norway. I don't think you can play as Norway, but I might have missed that. Okay, so we start with a cardinal, and this is a Norwegian diplomat, not our diplomat. I don't think we have a diplomat. Can't see one. This is a merchant.
Yes, my king.
So we'll have a look around. Grain 24, timber 46. That one looks pretty good. And furs, what's up here? Ooh, honey, 75. Okay, so we're gonna get our merchant trading on the honey. I've never been much of a merchant user for Medieval 2 because I always found them really difficult to use, but you know, if we can get 75 extra florins per turn, that's a good thing. And then we'll move our spy north towards the Norwegian capital, which will take him a few turns. And it looks like we've discovered another settlement over here, which might be our first target. Our first target's either going to be this one here over here, this wooden castle, or this Motte and Bailey. So I have a feeling that we should probably, this is going to be the better town to take, but I think we should take this first. It'll give us some defense if Norway decides to come down and try and invade us. In terms of units, we've got a fleet over here with 1 ship. It's just a longboat, captained by Admiral John. So if we can, we're going to recruit another ship and a spear militia and a diplomat. Looks like our king's name is King Eric of Denmark. He has the shield bearer retinue, which removes 1 morale and +2 to the general's hit points, which is okay, but he's not the best commander and he's 40 years old. So I think he's not going to be our main commander. I think I'm just going to let him sit in the capital, Aarhus. If there's any Scandinavian viewers out there who want to give me a heads up on how to pronounce that, that'd be great, because I have no idea how to pronounce Scandinavian words. I think this is called Lund, though. I think I got that one right. So yeah. So anyway, King Eric and the Prince Roskilde Niels. That's one of our generals. He's 36 years old. He's a horrible commander. For someone who's 36 anyway. So I think we're just going to let him stay in the town. So yep, here's Prince Nud over here. He's 15 years old. He's a decent commander already. He's the heir apparent, of course, and he's got some pretty decent traits. So I think he's going to be our main commander. I'd love to get another one though, and of course it'd be a shame if he died in battle. So we'll hire some spear militia, just so we can build up our army, because I'm looking at it now and we don't have that many units between us. This is the biggest unit size, I think. Hope it is anyway. So we're going to move all of our units to Lund, because this is the direction we're going to be attacking from. And the cities are happy with just the general in it, the king. Now, the biggest threat to us is probably going to be the Holy Roman Empire down here. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have a diplomat. That's the problem. I do have a princess, so I'm going to use my princess to initiate diplomacy with the Holy Roman Empire, and hopefully we can either get an alliance. We'll get trade rights almost certainly, but hopefully we can get an alliance to prevent them from attacking through Denmark, because that could be a serious problem and threat to the campaign that we're going to be playing. So what we want to be doing ideally is to take over all of Scandinavia and then push into mainland Europe. Perhaps even do a naval invasion of Britain. That could be very interesting. Alright, so we'll give that a shot, and we'll play around with that later on. But for now, let's just try and move our units to Lund, and we'll start building some construction. So I think we're going to go for the money-making buildings first, which will be the land clearances and markets, grain exchanges, stonemason huts. Brothels provide happiness. Okay, so we can probably build a brothel there as well. Over here we can build a road, land clearance, grain exchange, and in Lund we can build a road, land clearance, grain exchange. And I think that's all we'll do for now. And we can't recruit anything, and we can't initiate diplomacy with anyone. We've got a cardinal over here, Cardinal Harold, who is 40 years old, and he's a pretty solid cardinal. So what have we got? We've got 82% Catholicism over here, 70% and 75%. So the territory of Roskilde is going to be our first target. We'll move him over there, and we'll let him do his work, and we'll end the turn. It's not the end turn button, that one is. Okay, so this should be good. The only problem I can see so far is going to be the turn times. They're really going to stretch on, because I've been playing a bit of Rome 2, and I know that there was a big problem with the turn times taking forever in the early game. They've patched that up quite a bit so far, and even with, you know, whatever the 100 or whatever, how many things they've got, it's ridiculous. It now flies through very quickly in the early game, which is good. Unfortunately, stainless steel hasn't got so much support anymore. It's a much older game, so we're going to have to deal with the turn times, which inevitably are going to get longer, but hopefully once factions start getting knocked out, we won't be, you know, waiting for all that time. So we have a suitable prince being offered to us, betrothed Ragnhild Svedsen. Oh man, Svensson. I apologize to any Scandinavian viewers out there for butchering your language. He is Johan Mogensen, and he has one command. He's 43 years old. You know what? I'm going to take him anyway. He's not the greatest, but I'll let him sit in a city somewhere. Take the rebel settlement of Setten. No, it's too far away, and it's in That's Holy Roman Emperor territory, and I don't want to piss them off. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go for this one over here. Which I don't even think it has a name. This one here, second. We might take on Norway after that, and then perhaps push over to here and take over this little island over here. So that's sort of our game plan. But first step, of course, is to get all our troops into Lund and recruit who we can, which is no one at the moment, because of the recruitment system that Medieval 2 uses. I did not choose the alternative systems offered in stainless steel, mainly because they turned off the ability to have permanent watchtowers all across the map, which meant that I would be in darkness for most of this map. I hate that. It's one of the worst features of the older games, and one of the best ones of the newer games, that you can see everything that's happening in your country. So, again, there's not much we can do. We did get Johan Mogensen. I'm just going to call him Johan. I'm going to move him to Lund, because Lund is going to be pushing out with our general in there, who is Prince Nud, and he's going to be leading the campaign. 3 stars, so that's good enough for me. And he does have the trait of Duke of Lund, which I might give to whatever that Johan. Johan, was it? I think it was. Anyway, so we're going to end the turn again. Nothing we can really do. I should get a diplomat soon, I think, if not last turn actually, and I'm going to start moving him around, getting trade rights probably with the Holy Roman Empire, with France, Genoa, Poland, just in the general vicinity, get as many trade agreements as I possibly can. I don't think you can have enough trade agreements, to be honest. And of course, it's not instantaneous diplomacy like the newer games are, so it's got its positives and negatives. Personally, I like moving my diplomats around, but I can understand how some people might not like that, because it is a little bit more micromanagement. Up in Aarhus, we should have our diplomat now. Yes, we do. And we're going to move him straight down to Hamburg, I think it was. Let's see, we'll get some trade rights going, which is generous. Excellent. And we'll see if we can get an alliance, which is balanced. Perfect. Okay, so that means the threat from Holy Roman Empire has been sort of neutralized for now. We're going to head straight down to France, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not quite sure where the French cities are. I think there's one here. It's in the general area, so I'm going to send dude down there. I might even get a quest for it. Alliance announced, which is us, of course. We have recruited our diplomat, end of turn report. And my spy's path has been blocked. Okay, so here's Oslo. Didn't realize there was a city up here. Awesome. So we'll keep going. That might be a target before we hit Norway. And it looks like our army is already pretty much ready to march. We just need to get our other general to garrison it so that the peasants don't revolt on us, and we're going to march north and take these Norse rebels faction city. Okay, so we're going to end the turn again. Again, there's not much I can be spending my money on until the construction finishes, until more units become available for recruitment. So, you know, we're just going to keep stockpiling money, which is always a good thing to have a bit of money in the bank. And yeah, we'll start our expansion of Scandinavia. Hopefully they've got some units garrisoning that fort. They should. Make for a little interesting battle. Don't know if we'll siege it out or if we'll assault it. Probably will assault it, but depends on how many units they've got. If it looks like I can't win, I'm just going to wait it out, and then hopefully they sally forth and we can take them on the field. But really, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now, the one thing I'm noticing I'm having a problem with is controlling the camera with the arrow keys instead of WASD, which is the same thing in the battles. It's even harder. And of course, the debug camera, which is no longer available in the older games, unless there's some way to get that back. Again, if you do know, please let me know, because that would just make my life so much easier and make me get some better shots probably. So we've got a bride for Prince Nud, and I'm going to get this guy married. Hopefully he'll perform a little bit better in battle. Okay, this castle has pretty much no one, and it's called Scara, which is a pretty awesome name for a castle. Very scary sounding. And again, I'm going to see if we can recruit some units. We can recruit some spearmen. No one over there, no one over there. And we did recruit a boat, of course. So Admiral John's fleet will be building. Since we are in an area where there is a lot of sea and it's actually dividing our country, I think it's important that we have a very strong navy. And especially if we ever invade the British Isles, it'd be good that we have a few ships to get us over there, of course. So again, not much I can do. My diplomat will be moving. My diplomat's around here somewhere. He'll be moving down to France.
Yes, my king.
And hopefully we can get some trade agreements with them. I'm not looking for an alliance or anything, just the trade agreements. Get some extra income. And there is silver down there. How much is that going to get me? King. 73. Okay, so 90 florins, still more. Okay, cool. So, and the turn again. Just gonna take a quick drink. Alright, so this is looking like it's shaping up fairly well. I can't see any major threats at the moment, so I think the early game's pretty much just going to be us gaining a foothold in the world, since we only start with a few settlements. And then once we build up our Scandinavian dominance, we can start pushing perhaps into where modern day Russia is. You never know. I think that's where the Grand Duchy of Kiev is, and Quasarmenian Empire. I know they're sort of further east.
We gain no honor by hiding in these trees.
And of course we won't have to deal with the Mongols or anything.
Honor, my king.
Okay, so they can last 3 turns, but I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to build 3 siege rams, and we're going to maintain the siege, and next turn we will take that over. And we'll see if anything's building, any construction finished. So we're still building our farms, still got our grain exchange in the pipeline. Got a couple more units we can recruit. And that's it there. And our Cardinal is doing a fantastic job. It's already at 91% from 70% in a couple of turns. Our Diplomat is still moving south.
At once.
I like to manually move diplomats because they tend to get stuck on objects and its path is blocked, and then you don't realize and you forget about them. Yeah. So I'll make sure that he's getting to where he needs to be. Our spy is quickly moving towards, or slowly rather, moving towards Norway, who actually have 2 settlements. This one's the capital over here, of course. There is no real need for me to be over here. It's just to keep an eye on them. So I think I will just keep my spy here and not risk him getting into the cities. And that looks about it. Next turn we will be assaulting Scara. So we'll end the turn again. I feel like this is going to be a lot of end turns, but you know, not much we can do about it at the moment. Hopefully once we start facing some bigger factions, we'll be doing more per turn, we'll be able to recruit more, build more buildings, we'll be fighting multiple battles, probably in the single turns. So, you know, the late game does get interesting, and as long as you don't steamroll it, it tends to be a lot of fun as well. So yeah, might get a Napoleon campaign going. I've had some problems with it. The sound is like going crazy sometimes when I'm near certain settlements, so I might need to look at that. I did install Darth mod for it, which might have something to do with it, but yeah, you never know. So the Polish Senior Duke is dead, who is down here somewhere, I don't know. Let's see, end of turn reports, and we have built a couple of the farms, which means the grain exchanges and the markets will be beginning. That market's already halfway through, which is good. Probably go for the chapel next, I think. And over here, we can begin our assault of Scara.
God be with us, men.
And they don't have many troops, I don't think. Okay, Captain Agnar of Scara has 3 Viking Raiders and 2 Levy Archers. The only problem is going to be the Levy Archers. I think we can deal with the rest of it. I'm just going to make a quick save. Let's see. Denmark 1 LP. Save game. Okay, and let's fight this battle on the map. And this will be the battle of this episode. I haven't really decided on episode length yet. Probably something around 30 minutes or so. Nothing too long, and I'll try to get a couple of episodes out, or at least 3 to 4 per week. I'd be aiming for once per day, but with commitments that I've got, I might not be able to get that. But you never know if I've only got one Let's Play going. So we're going to start the deployment here, and this is Scara, which of course has no walls. It's just the Bailey. That's why we couldn't actually build any ladders or anything. So we're going to move our siege rams up, but we're not going to have our archers garrison them. And that's one thing I never understood, is that the game automatically, every single time, puts your archers on the siege rams. And I always like to have my heavier troops who are going to go in first and clear out the gateway on the ram itself. So we're going to put let's see, we don't have any heavy infantry. I thought my Viking Raiders would be heavy infantry. Well, in that case, I think we might put... we'll put the Viking Raiders on there. And if they get destroyed, it's okay, because we have plenty of spear units to back them up. And this is just the standard system I use. I just line everybody up behind the main unit and leave my general out here until the end once we've cleared the gate. And let's see, we'll move some of our archers over here. Just spread them out a little bit and get some fire down on the enemy, and we'll push them up. Okay, there we go. And we'll have a look at what they're doing. And of course the camera is restricted, which I'm going to turn that off. Where am I going? Game options, restrict camera. There we go. It's biggest pain in the butt in these older games. Okay. They have Viking Raiders, light infantry of course, and Viking Raiders again. And in the main city they have their Norse Rebel archers, which are just the skirmishers. So we do have our archers moving up as well, and they'll get counter fire on... No, they won't. Actually, they're not in range, so I'm just going to push them up a little bit further. And I don't think these guys are in range at all either. Some of them are. Again, I'm really struggling without the WASD. I might have to do some custom controls in the menu. That's not a big deal. And I will move my siege ram up now. And just bring up my Viking Raiders. I'm not even going to bother keeping them in the column formation because it's just going to be too difficult to maintain. It's okay, we'll send them in one after the other. Okay, and we are getting some archer fire, which is nice. Which is going to soften up the resistance by the time we actually get into the gate. Hopefully these units will be demoralized and half broken, which will just make it easy for us to push through to the main square. Like I said before, the only challenge we're going to be facing is these archers picking off our men. But again, it's more, I just don't want to lose men because replenishing in the older Total War games is kind of a pain compared to the newer ones. In the newer ones, of course, if you haven't played them, or I can't imagine anybody hasn't played at least Empire, the units, of course, replenish for you automatically, which is nice depending on where you are, of course. For some reason, these guys don't want to move up. There we go. Okay, they just opened the gate. Yeah, they've opened the gate. Okay, we're going to get off the ram. And hopefully they don't close the gate. And we're going to move units up. I was not expecting that. Okay, well that's good. We now have a battle going. And I can't see who's who, because we're wearing the same clothes. And of course I'm hitting my own troops. I'm going to push these archers up to hit their archers. Unfortunately, these guys don't seem to have that much range on them. So that should be about do it. The only problem is, of course, is that they're firing in the arc above, which means the chance of actually hitting a unit is made smaller because the arrow is dropping straight down. Of course, we have permanent arrows turned on, which is always very cool, but if it does cause too much lag, I may have to disable that. And rotating the camera with dual monitors is a pain. Just found that out. Okay, it looks like my battle advisor is saying that we're doing okay. So we're going to keep pushing. Get you some of that sweet action.
The enemy general lies dead.
And we have killed the general, which is good.
We are underdone.
Okay, so we're doing alright. We're losing a lot of men. Like, a lot. They've already lost over 70 men. They're in the light infantry, so it's not a huge deal. Getting a slight bit of lag, but it's not too bad.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
And of course my skirmish is now moving up to get in range. So the only unit who are actually in range are the Norse archers, not the Levy archers, because the Norse archers are the superior of the two. These guys are just ordinary peasants with bows. Looks like these guys are at least armored and have shields even, so that's good. So we're doing a huge amount of damage to them, and the field is just littered with arrows. So again, we're getting a little bit of slowdown, but it's not too bad. And it looks like we've broken through here, so we're going to push through even harder.
The Lord is with us today.
Yep, we've taken the gates. Awesome.
The enemy's wall.
And I think at this point it's pretty much won. I'm going to push my general in, because he can do absolute destruction on these guys. I mean, just check out how many arrows there are. I may have to turn that off, because especially in the bigger battles, it's going to cause some significant slowdown. Or at least I can turn my anti-aliasing down, because I think that's not helping. But we'll get that sorted out in the later episodes. For now, we're just going to focus on the battle, and we've pretty much got this one in the bag, I think. So once we get some units into the square, hopefully we can start capping it. Of course, a little bit different from the newer games with Rome 2, of course, where you have multiple capture points in the cities, which I like and I don't like. I like the fact that you have to sort of fight for a particular single area, but you know, you're never going to be able to model proper siege warfare, I don't think, in Total War. Not without it being absolutely boring, since some sieges could have lasted days. Okay, so I don't really know why my men aren't really charging. So I think we might speed this up. And I think I might get my men to stop firing arrows, because it is just adding to the lag. And we are capturing the city, so that's good. So I'm going to speed it up from this point.
All civilized peoples.
And that's good. So I don't think it was the most challenging first battle, but it was a good start. We managed to take a city, and Prince Nud, of course, our general. We only lost 175 men, so that's good. So that's our borders expanding, and that's our first bit of territory taking, which is good. Hopefully we can continue the trend. And of course that means we now have a castle. Now castles mean that we get more access to better troops. And of course he's going to shut up. Occupation options is we can occupy, sack, or exterminate, and I think I'll just occupy this time around. And they do have a ship in that city. And sorry about that, guys. Just getting a phone call. Be back in a second. Whoops, sorry about that interruption, guys. We're back. Yeah, so that was the end of the first battle, and I think that's going to be where I'm going to end the first episode as well. So I think that's a good little progress for our first sort of foray into the Denmark campaign. Of course, next episode we'll be looking at taking either this castle here or this castle over here, and perhaps we'll have some access to better troops. Doesn't look like it, but we can build... no, we can't. That's unusual. I'll have a look at that next time, though. So, yeah, thank you for watching all the way through if you did. Leave a comment if you did like it. Even if you didn't like it, tell me what you didn't like about it, and I'll see what I can do. I'll try and fix up the lag, because I did know there was a little bit of slowdown. Yeah, so I'll see you next time, guys. See you later.